Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Namibia Senior Secondary Certificate Biology lesson. Today we are going to focus on diffusion. Our objectives of the lesson are that number one, you need to be able by the end of the lesson to define diffusion. Secondly, you must be able to describe the factors that affect diffusion. So let's start by talking about diffusion. Diffusion can be defined as the movement of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of low concentration. If you look at the diagram below, you can see that on the left side, there are red molecules which are highly concentrated on the left side. So these molecules will tend to move from the higher level to the low level of concentration. So that's diffusion. So diffusion simply that movement of water molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of low concentration. Where does it get its energy from? The process of diffusion gets its energy from the random movement of molecules. So diffusion derives its energy from the random movement of molecules. Now, let's take a look at the factors that affect diffusion. We have one, temperature. Secondly, we have surface area. Thirdly, we have concentration. We have been looking on concentration when we were talking about the movement of molecules from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. So now we are going to focus on these two, temperature and limited and surface area. Let's start with temperature. Now, temperature. What happens to diffusion when temperature changes? What we know is that the higher the temperature, the higher the rate of diffusion. So what really happens is that temperature increases the rate of diffusion by making the particles to gain more kinetic energy. So when particles gain more kinetic energy, they then have more potential to move. So the higher the temperature, the higher the rate of diffusion. And this is because when temperature is increased, particles move faster. Also, when temperature is decreased, particles will move slowly. If we are to take a look, at this diagram, we want to see what happens when we increase temperature. From this diagram, you can see that there is a container, and on that container, we have molecules in blue. Molecules in blue, and we have our heat stove here, where we can increase the temperature. So as you can see, the molecules are not moving. The molecules are like not having the energy to move. So let's see what will happen if I increase the temperature. So I'll increase the temperature like this. Watch. The molecules will gain kinetic energy, and the molecules will start to move. And the molecules will start to fill the container. So this is what happens when temperature is increased. So when temperature is increased, particles, they gain more energy, and diffusion will happen at a faster rate. Now, on the other way around, let's see if we are to increase the coldness, if we are to decrease the temperature. So when we start to decrease the temperature, you see that the particles will start to lose the energy to move. So the particles will lose the kinetic energy. So at the end, the rate of diffusion will become slow. As you can see, the particles have lost the kinetic energy because of the temperature that we have decreased. So at the end, the rate of diffusion has decreased. So this is what happens when you increase or decrease the rate of when you decrease or increase temperature. Now, let's take a look at the next point. The next factor is surface area. When we talk about surface area, we're talking about how big the shape is. So this is related to the cell membrane. So the bigger the cell membrane, the higher the rate of diffusion. So if you look at the small surface area, let's say a cell that is having a small surface area, very little or less diffusion will occur from the small surface area. So the smaller the surface area, the lesser the rate of diffusion. But if you look at the larger surface area, the rate of diffusion is increased. So the bigger the larger the surface area, the more the particles that will enter the cell. So what are we saying? We are saying the larger the surface area, the greater the rate of diffusion. Let's take a look at the potential exam question. The diagram shows an experiment to demonstrate the movement of molecules. After 1 hour, the water in the beaker turned red. What is the most likely reason for this color change? Attempt this question and you send me the answer. Another possible exam question on diffusion is as follows. Why does oxygen into the blood from an alveolus in the lungs? Why does oxygen diffuse into the blood from an alveolus in the lungs? Again, attempt this question, then you send me the answer. Another question, a jar of air was placed upside down on top of a jar containing a brown gas as shown. Which process has taken place? Attempt that question and send me the answer again. Question number 4. By which process does the blue ink spread through the jelly? Attempt also this one and send me the answer. Which structure provides the best surface for diffusion? So I want you to attempt all these 5 questions and check yourself, and you send me the answers so that you can check yourself how good you are now at this topic. Otherwise, thank you very much. And for more information on how to send your answers, please get in touch with me on 0818-506-486 or visit our website www.atkins.today. Thank you very much.